I don't understand why California voters are so darn ignorant. Judging by the title of this article right here. So I'm going to read you the article and I'm going to give you my little 2 cents about this. All right, so it says most California voters think the state is headed in the wrong direction, yet they intend to re-elect the governor who is leading us there. That seems wrong-headed. But it's explained by two modern-day realities. And in California, most voters have lost all confidence in the Republican Party. They'll choose most any Democrat over a GOP candidate, especially for statewide office. That and the fact there are nearly twice as many Democrat voters as Republicans. Both parties are polarized, but it's a lopsided matchup. This was illustrated in the statewide survey released Wednesday by the Nonpartisan Public Policy Institute of California. With less than 2 weeks remaining before Election Day, which is now a week, actually, Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom leads Republican State Senator Brian Dahle among likely voters by virtually unsurmountable 55% to 36%. Newsom is ahead in every major region of the state except the Central Valley, where the two are statistically tied. Most voters intend to vote for Newsom, then approve of his job performance, although the difference isn't that much, 3 percentage points. But another statistic is eye-opening. 54% of voters think California is going in the wrong direction. Only 43% believe we're heading on the right path. Yet Newsom is running away with the election. To me, one of the biggest findings of the survey was that even at a time when 54% of voters think the state is heading in the wrong direction, the majority are willing to support the governor. That says a lot about the current political context. Voters are so polarized in California. Past generations of Californians voted for the candidate over the party. No more. The Democrat governor dominates politically on many things. His decision to side with the California Teachers Association and oppose Prop 30 may have doomed the ballot measures. It would raise state income taxes on the richest Californians, mainly to help motorists buy electric vehicles, including drivers for ride-hail-Lyft, the measure's big bankroller. The powerful CTA is opposed because schools would be cut from the measure's new tax revenue. Newsom ran TV ads calling Prop 30 a Trojan horse and a terrible, terrible initiative. The new PPIC poll shows it trails for the first time, 41% in favor, 52% against. A September survey before Newsom's ad found the measure ahead 55% to 40%. With the ballot proposition, the burden of proof is always on the yes side. Certainly, doubts are raised when the governor says, "Don't vote for it," and the CTA says, "Don't vote for it." It doesn't take much for a voter to say, "Somebody's trying to fool me." I'm not an expert on this. Nah, I'll wait until the next time around for something with more clarity. On another front, Newsom was strong enough to set up a pathetic excuse for the campaign's only gubernatorial debate. Little input on scheduling was allowed from his Republican opponent. The timing was almost laughable. At 1 p.m. is when it started, in the afternoon, on a beautiful fall Sunday. If voters weren't enjoying themselves outside, they were probably watching pro football on TV. Newsom, of course, wanted to make sure no one watched the debate, so he dictated that it be broadcast on radio. And at a time when virtually no one would tune in, C-SPAN did run a delayed telecast at dinner time. It's the old time honored, if sickening, political strategy. If you're way ahead in the polls, don't risk allowing voters to watch you say something really stupid during a debate. And don't give your unknown opponent who can't afford TV ads an opportunity to introduce himself to voters. I've always wanted to schedule a debate the same night as the Oscars, says Dan, a former Republican operative who teaches political communications at USC and UC Berkeley. So it says, give Newsom credit. He's about 1,000 points ahead, and he probably could have gotten away with not debating at all. Dan, like several political pros I call, didn't bother to catch the debate. That's how significant they thought it was. One Republican consultant who did listen while watching the San Francisco 49ers was Matt Rexroad. I actually think Newsom performed really well, he says. He's always on point, no lack of facts. Yes, Newsom is uniquely capable of storing a hard drive load of data in his head and spewing it out breathlessly nonstop. It's impressive, but often painful trying to digest. Newsom tried to morph Dahle into a MAGA Trump disciple. He called his underdog opponent a passionate supporter of the former president, who's the devil's incarnate among California Democrats. A Trump voter, yes, but never with any sign of passion. Dahle attacked Newsom as a governor who's so busy running for president that he's ignoring his own state problems of homelessness and unaffordability. Newsom has been flying around the country promoting California liberalism, especially on abortion rights, and trying to gain a foothold in the national arena. But I doubt he's now running for president. If there was any news out of the debate, it came when a moderator asked Newsom whether he'd commit to serving a full 4-year term, thus passing up a possible 2024 presidential run. Yes, the governor replied, but we've heard that before from other politicians. It's a pledge that can be broken without much of a penalty. Ask Newsom a year from now, after he's reelected, despite people being unhappy with the direction the state's heading. All right, so now I didn't read all that to you. So you guys knowingly would vote Gavin Newsom despite all of the issues and problems that we are facing here in California, specifically alone. Why still vote for Gavin Newsom, knowing that a lot of his policies did more harm than good to Californians What good results has Gavin Newsom accomplished? Tell me one. Other than people leaving California, and even some celebrities are moving too. Mark Wahlberg. You know, when we got the highest tax rates among all the states in America, we are the only state in America with double digits with our tax rates. 13%. That's crazy, isn't it? And meanwhile, on top of that, we got to deal with high gas, food, electricity, and everything else. Especially when this guy straight up told everybody that we all need to move into an electrical vehicle by 2035, and then turns around and say, oh, we can't charge our cars around 4 to 9 p.m. And we got to conserve energy so we don't put a strain on the electric grid. That's what he told y'all. And you're expecting me to get an electrical vehicle? Heck no. And not to mention, there's high crime in a lot of these Democratic ran cities like LA, San Francisco, Oakland, Stockton, you name it. Knowing all of these issues that you're aware of, you basically just wave the white flag and just say, nah, I'd rather stick with Newsom because the other guy, Brian Dahle, is a Republican. And you're claiming that you don't have any faith in the Republicans? It's like the Republicans have all of you leftists fearing for your lives, all because of one guy, one man in the name of Donald Trump. I mean, why are y'all so scary? And so what if Brian Dahle supported him twice in both elections, the 2016 and the 2020 election? Who freaking cares? That's not what's important. And besides, Donald Trump isn't even in office anymore, for crying out loud. So my question is why do you even vote if that's the case? Because I know people always like to say, if you don't vote, then you can't complain. Well, here's what I say to that. If you want to keep on voting in the same people whose policies have done more harm than good, knowingly, then you can't complain. Because you know California is heading in the wrong direction. We're too fixated on, LGBT, abortion rights, illegal immigration, which all of the three have become sanctuaries in California. Like, this state has become a sanctuary state for all three that I just mentioned. LGBT, which is going around here indoctrinating children to make it seem okay to just transition at an early age. And a whole lot of sexual things that they have no business learning about at such a young age. I mean, why would I even vote for that? Why do you people still continuously vote for stuff like that, knowing that this kind of stuff can affect your children? Illegal immigration. We got open borders coming across every single day now. And do you know what else that they're bringing with them along the way? It's fentanyl. With their suppliers coming out of China, they're bringing that mess from Mexico all the way into the United States of America. And you guys wonder why we have a drug problem. It's because the open borders, right? And who's the one supplying them drugs? You guessed it, China. So why wouldn't you want to close them borders up? And I say those illegal immigrants that came to this country, they need to be sent right back and actually come back to the country the right way and not the wrong way. Right? Hey, I support legal immigration, not illegal. And then the other thing, abortion rights. Okay, look. Abortion rights is not an everybody issue. Okay? That is a woman issue. Specifically, white women. As I stated before, abortion was not meant for you, black women. And if you support that, then black lives don't matter. And you should just get rid of all of your Black Lives Matter t-shirts, flags, and stickers and all that. If you support killing your own baby, then what does Black Lives Matter mean to you then? If that's the case, LGBTQ and abortion rights do not affect everybody. But what does affect everybody is inflation, the economy, high taxes, cost of living, you name it in this state alone. And illegal immigration is only the icing on the cake for that. Okay, illegal immigration is what's hurting specifically black people that live in California. Just understand that. That's just the icing on the cake when it comes to that kind of issue. So, you guys want to complain about these issues, high gas, high cost of living, but yet you're not even trying to be a part of the solution at the same time. You'll just keep voting in the same people over and over again, expecting results. Well, just because you got a $350 rebate check or card. I mean, come on. $350 is nothing. You will blow through that money within a week. Okay? A week. Because that money is not going to last long. If you want real solutions to be done, instead of giving people free money, which is basically our tax dollars anyway, which is only going to last you a week, why not just bring down the cost of oil and gas at the same time? And how do you do that? Well, start producing. We don't need Saudi Arabia. We don't need Russia, Ecuador, Venezuela to do it. When we got as much natural resources out here in California than what we already have, but we're just not utilizing it. Instead, we just want to point fingers at these oil companies for quote unquote price gouging. But what are the Democrats really doing about it? Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and tax these oil companies. Okay, so what is that going to do? How is that going to help? Increasing tax rates is only going to make it worse. Because, look, you can increase tax rates on these companies all you want. But what are they going to do? They're going to move somewhere else. Case in point, Chevron and Tesla just got done moving their headquarters over there in Texas. Yeah, you know, a lot of these corporations whose headquarters are located in California, they're leaving. For places like Texas in particular. Why? Because the poor business tax climate is what's killing business and driving them out of California for a much cheaper and more affordable way of doing business. Because California just keeps on upping the taxes on everybody for what? It's not going to hurt the corporations. Trust me, it won't. Because why? We're the same people who are still putting money in their pockets because we keep on, shopping with these corporations. If you think about it, people are still buying gas every day. So it's not going to really hurt their profits if you think about it. So instead of putting a Band-Aid on the problems that we're facing, why not actually do something about it, Gavin Newsom? Otherwise, let's just go with the next guy, Brian Dahle, who is actually going to put some real work into action. Okay? And I'll say this again. To the people who say that if you don't vote, you can't complain, well, I got a rebuttal for that one. If you want to continue to vote in Gavin Newsom and the same old Democratic regime that's going to continue to do nothing but just lip service and taxing the hell out of y'all, indoctrinating your children with LGBT agendas, if you continuously vote for that, then you can't complain. How about that? So for once in your lives, California, be solutionary. Stop the complaining and actually be solutionary. Forget about the party affiliation for a minute and just look at Brian Dahle and what his policies can do for you and me. That's going to help a better living for you and your families. Because just understand this, LGBTQIA rights, as well as abortion rights, is not going to help save money in your wallet. Think about that. With that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. Please leave your comments, like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you all on the next video. Peace.